Mainstream advice on entrepreneurship is usually wrong. Hala cuts through the noise, delivers actionable insights you can implement today to get 1% better.
As a professional service provider, you might think it is beyond your reach to charge $10,000 or more for a service that you provide. My single goal here today is to challenge that perception and share with you practical tips I believe can help you overcome your pricing challenge. Now, I want to start with a quote from one of my favorite influencers, Naval. Naval said, "Arm yourself with specific knowledge. Specific knowledge is something that you cannot be trained for. If society can train you, society can replace you. Specific knowledge is taught through apprenticeship, not schools. It is often technical or creative and cannot be outsourced or automated." Now, when I say specific knowledge, I know what you're thinking. You think it's something really complex. You're probably thinking about those guys responsible for cleaning up oil spillage in the deep ocean, or those guys who track our spatial system and looking for alien invasion and planet counterattack. That's not what I'm referring to, not at all. We want to use a simple thing which is very rampant right now. I'm going to use graphics design as our example. Now, just a few years back, if you were to design a simple graphic, it's going to set you back a couple of dollars, right? Yeah, you pay for it, it's real good stuff. But today, services like Canva has put the power of design in our phones, in our palms, right? And you can come up with designs, stunning designs that would have cost you real good money just a few years back. Now, a lot of people have built their careers around graphics design using Canva as their major tool. I'm not going to go into the discussion of whether that makes you a graphic designer or not. What I want to focus on today is, can you use specific knowledge to charge $10,000 for a product you designed using Canva? That's what we're driving at today. Now that you have a good understanding of what we're talking about, let's proceed. So, the first thing I want to talk about, I have my notes here, so I'm just going to talk about it. First, let me just say this as an advice. If you're a young person and you don't have a skill that can pay you, what you want to do is to quit this video and spend the next 3 to 6 months learning a skill, a high income skill, and then you can start earning, right? That's the first thing you want to do. So if you don't have a skill, quit this video right now, right here, and go learn something, right? So let's begin. How do you start charging people $10,000 or more? Now I'm using $10,000 as a benchmark, but whatever price is in your mind that you think about and you say, oh no, I can't charge, that's the particular amount you want to start charging, right? So we're giving ourselves a period of 2 months for development and to reimagine what that cost is. We're going to remake it in our mind, right? And then we're going to implement the steps that I will share, and we'll give ourselves 2 months, and then you go right into charging that amount that scares you. For this video, I'll be using $10,000. Number one, social proof. People who pay that much, people who will pay you so much money for a design or for any of the services you're providing, and they're paying top dollar, people who pay that much want social proof, right? How do you build social proof? By being very visible. You lend your voice to the industry, be vocal about the upcoming trends, blog a lot. Anything that comes to your mind is content. Blog. Start a podcast, start a blog, start a video blog, go on YouTube, share your thoughts, lend your voice. If you're a developer, you contribute to the open source community, just contribute to the ecosystem, lend your voice. That's how you are able to demonstrate social proof. Now, if you happen to have endorsements from several people, notable people in the industry, you want to share it all across everywhere, on your social media, on your website. And if you have a website, your social proof should come in on every page. very likely close to the footer, right? Your social proof should be everywhere. Social proof are things that you've done that are socially verifiable, right? I mean, that's why it's called social proof. So it can be verified. It's stuff you've done for the community, or you've gotten paid for, you've gotten endorsements, or you've gotten mentions by popular people in the industry, or even maybe you got featured in a newspaper or by a top blog that covers your industry. Those are the social proof that you want to share, right? For a lot of people, it could be getting reviews from popular review websites. That's your social proof. For some people, like if you're in the food business, you want to get reviews from Yelp and the rest. That's your social proof. Get your social proof all over the place. Let everybody see it. Let everybody see that you're competent. People will only pay you top money if they perceive you as an expert in your industry, right? So social proof, that's number one. Number two, money back guarantee or unlimited revisions. Now, this one is a bit technical, but I'll just share with you what I think, right? So doing creative work often means that people would reject your work. People are going to say, change this and change that and change this, and it's just going to keep rolling. Now, for some people, they understand this process is tedious, right? Clients come back and say, we don't like this, change this and change that. And what they do is to limit the revisions to a particular number. So they could say, this project costs $3,000. However, you're limited to 3 revisions. What the client sees is that if we're not satisfied, we will be forced to take the project as it is, because we've reviewed the changes 3 times, right? And then people are going to walk away because everybody demands top value for every dollar spent. So what you want to do, especially if you're charging above industry average, in our case study right now, $10,000, what you want to do is to be able to give people peace of mind and let them know, hey, you have unlimited revisions, right? Or you have 30 days money back guarantee. Now the standard in the industry is 7 days. You have 7 days money back guarantee. That's the industry standard. You could take it up a bit, especially if you're really confident in your delivery, in the value that you're giving to people. The third thing I want to talk about is to be bold about your offer. Be bold about your offer. There's a brand that I love so much. It's called Allbirds. Allbirds is a company that makes sneakers, and they're so bold about what they do. They're going to ship their sneakers to you, and you can test it for 30 days, right? And if you don't like it, you return it. That's how confident they are in what they do. And they have a very bold claim also. Allbirds they say they make the most comfortable shoes in the world. Now that's a very bold claim. And if you're making such a claim, then you should be able to back it up, right? And that's why you can go through their website, you place an order for a shoe, and they will ship it to you without you paying. And they say, use it for 30 days. If it feels uncomfortable or it is not as advertised, return it. No questions asked. You've not paid, nothing. No questions asked. That's how confident they are. You want to be able to exhibit such boldness in your business, right? Especially if you want to charge top dollar. Be bold about your offer, but also be able to deliver, right? And the fourth thing I want to talk about is people want to speak with important people. Have you ever asked yourself why banks have a lot of vice presidents? People don't walk into banks and they have big business to do, or they have a lot of cash to save, and then they deal with the front desk guys. They don't. They want to walk into a bank and ask for the VP or a really top person in the bank, sit in an office, feel welcome, have a one-on-one conversation with somebody of what or of note in the bank, and then do business, right? So if you run an agency, it's something you might want to copy, right? Have a lot of vice presidents, important people who have top money to spend, want to meet with other important people when they're spending their money, right? Nobody of importance wants to walk into a bank and deposit $500 million or do business worth $500 million from the front desk. Nobody does that, right? So people need to meet with important people. Now I understand for solopreneurs and freelancers, and you run a one-man business, it's difficult to set up, but there is a way around it, right? I mean, if you have a website, you could have sales at yourdomain.com, marketing at yourdomain.com, partnerships at yourdomain.com, maybe even VP at yourdomain.com. Just do something that creates the perception of where you're going. You're going to get there. You're not there yet, but create that perception. People say, don't judge a book by the cover. I'm sorry to announce to you, but people do judge books by their covers. So if you run a one-man business, you don't want to paint it all over the place. It's a one-man business, especially when you're trying to charge over the top. You want to create a perception of excellence, a perception of being big, right? I'm not saying fake it till you make it. I'm saying create a perception and implement features that the big guys implement. So when you visit a big website or one of the large agencies, they have a specific email for support, they have a specific email for inquiries, they have a specific email for marketing, they have a specific email for partnerships. You get my point, right? So that's also what you want to copy. And so those are 4 steps that, of course, it's just the tip of the iceberg, and there are several other things to do so you can jump up your price. It's a period of 2 months. Remember what we're looking at? We're looking at implementing these strategies over a period of 2 months. So this is the first step, and thank you for joining me. I hope that this really, really helps you. If you have questions and comments, or you need me to hold your hand and walk through it, I'll be very happy to do that. Just send a response to our official email, and we'll get back to you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us today. Stay ahead in business by following Hal's Daily Insights.